you've gotten some pushback from MAGA as well, right? Like,
yeah, man.
You got the what was it, Bryson Gray? Right. Like, you guys had interviewed, and then it was like he was coming at you off, like you're a social justice warrior kind of thing.
Yeah, because you gotta. Okay, this is the thing. You have to be as conservative as them, or you're then dismissed as a liberal, a baby killer,
right?
A Trump's, a Trump hater, or a Biden voter. And or like in the comments, like someone's asking me like if I'm a progressive Christian. No, I'm not a progressive or a New Age Christian, and there's nothing in my content that would point to that. Yeah. If you actually pay attention to my content. So I think that's the part where if you don't use certain rhetoric, if you're not as anti-democrat as them, if you don't go as hard against a specific issue they deem more deplorable, then you aren't on the right team. And that's nonsense. Like, since when did historical Christianity become known more by things that's relatively modern, where people are like, yo, you have to go hard against this sin or you're not a Christian? Like, what? When? Since when? That doesn't mean we have to compromise our truth. Yeah, and by them, I'm specifically talking about the MAGA cult. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
I said 2016.
Right. Yeah, I'm talking about the MAGA. I'm not talking about all Trump voters. I'm not talking about all Republicans. I'm not talking about all conservatives. I'm specifically talking about the MAGA cult that is more known by their affiliation for MAGA. When you are known more by MAGA than Christian, when you know more by Trumpism than being a follower of Jesus, then you are off kilter. And those are the people who have an issue with me. Yeah. Those are the people.
Have an issue with everybody. It's all or nothing with them.
Indeed,
even their parents, right?
Even their parents, yeah. We have
Bryson's dad in our comments.
Well, that's because Jimmy called him a novelty rapper, and he was like, "No, he was popping before MAGA."
That's funny.
But we were like,
he sent us a link too. He sent us a link too.
We only know him from the MAGA stuff. We don't really know him for the Christian stuff, the CHH stuff. So. Oh, somebody's wondering why. Pull up that comment.
I was just wondering because you made a few videos defending Ecclesia. First of all, I didn't make a few videos defending Ecclesia. And Chef, you probably were blocked because you deserved it. Let's just keep it.
He found his way. He found his
way in here. So to be specific, I made one video defending Andrew from being attacked for his grotesque appearance and his him looking weird and having an eye. That I said his doctrine is on the table. I said we could talk about doctrine all day long. That is what I actually said. So I said his doctrine, he's been in error. I've talked to him privately and have addressed him publicly about it. I said, but when you equate doctrine to appearance, that's where Spencer Smith was wrong. And I talked to Spencer Smith about it, over the phone privately about it. He wouldn't come on my channel to talk about it because he knows he's wrong. You can't just lump in appearance and what somebody believes and say anytime anyone uses an orange contact lens, has a triangle or an eyeball in their visuals, that they are now a pagan. You're equating appearance, and that's fundamentalism. That's literally Spencer's position. Right. He's a fundamentalist that thinks music is evil, culture is evil, art is evil, everything's evil to him. So I mean, you can just go watch the video. I shouldn't have even needed to clarify that. Like, you could have literally just went and watched the video and listened to what I said.
We'll still celebrate birthdays and Christmas and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Oh, thanks for the clarification. Maybe I should go back and listen again. I could have misconstrued your words. Good stuff.
Hey,
that's what's up.
Redeeming himself.
That's what the body's about.
You might get on block now.
Maybe we'll unblock you.
We heard about your block game. Your block game is strong, huh?
Matumbo
with
Matumbo in the paint. Not in my house.
You get blocked quick, boy.
he said Michael said was going to say on block.
That's it is what it is, yo.
So I've seen that you've been trying to get you had made a comment the other day tweeting to Lecrae like, let's get you on the show. You've been trying to get him on for a while. Like, what's been going on there? Something growing there?
Here's the thing. It's not in Lecrae's best interest to come on my channel because I have enough rapport with him that we're not going to do softball questions, right? Like, we're not going to do let's do the fluffy interview where, you get to hit your talking points, like right. So it doesn't make sense for him to come on my channel. He doesn't stand to benefit outside of like just doing me a solid, right? Like he doesn't stand to benefit from coming on my channel, and it's probably in his best interest not to come on my channel because he knows I'm going to push back. And I'm not going to talk to him like he's this icon who's this god of Christian rap or, you know, this Messiah-like figure, or he's this, right? And so, because I don't talk to him like that in person, so it doesn't really make sense for him to come on my channel. And he said he's like, yo, maybe we'll do it at the top of the year. I'm not holding my breath, you know, because we communicate, but there's a difference between like the type of interviews he wants to do and the type of message he is curating as he's releasing music, and the type of conversations I have, which is like, I don't have like filtered, curated, we're going to hit these talking points conversations. I'm going to ask him the tough questions, the uncomfortable stuff that he doesn't want to talk about. And if he doesn't want to talk about it, then it's not in his best interest to come on.
Right.
Talk to me. Because the thing with Lecrae is like, I feel like who is extremely refreshing. Like his openness, his transparency, but there's still a degree where he's learning how to fully translate his views publicly while navigating being the head of a label and a movement, right? And I'm not talking about anything heretical. I'm not talking about anything like off in theology. And so that is the conversation that like I would want to have a conversation with that Lecrae, like the Lecrae I know. And that doesn't necessarily make sense for him and for where his social media and audience is. It may not make sense for him. So I think it doesn't make sense for him to come on my platform. Now, if he when he's ready or if he wants to, sure. Right. But I spend a lot of time talking to people I disagree with and just being very frank in the way I speak. And that, again, that may not make sense for someone like that. You know, like it would be like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example. It would be like someone like, I don't know, Jeff Durbin coming on my channel on the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Like there's a lot me and Jeff Durbin agree on, but I'm also going to press him and ask him the hard questions, right?
I think that would be dope though, because it would make sense, right? Because he's constantly getting attacked because of, you know, what he says and how he expresses himself or lack of, right? And then he always has to follow back up in another interview explaining what he said before, as opposed to like dealing with you, knowing how to extract that from him, and or you digging deeper to get a better explanation or get him to clarify what he's saying.
I think so. I agree with you. What's actually in his best interest is to do that on his own platforms.
Right.
If we're going to be honest, like,
well, he kind of was trying to do that with the addressing the abortion, right?
I thought he did a good job. Yeah, I thought he did a great job. Yeah. So that's the smart move. The smart move is build your own little community or microcosm on YouTube and do it that way instead of coming on someone else's platform. That's actually the way to do it. And I think he's smart for that, you know, in terms of that.
Did Craig ever get that $1,000 from your man?
Tyson, I always forget his last name. The Tyson guy. I don't think so. Tyson James. Yeah, I don't think so.
He had dissed you too, right?
Oh yeah, he got a couple disses against me. They're terrible. They're
like songs, like
trash. I thought Bryson Gray wasn't that good. I mean, Tyson is not good at all. Like Bryson Gray is substantially a much more interesting artist than Tyson. But yeah, Tyson and Bryson.
Yeah, Bryson in his lane, in his like MAGA trap lane. Like, I think so. But
he's hard.
Yeah, outside of that, I'm like,
I'm a gun, something, and patriot. When he did that joint at the MAGA rally, I was like, whoa,
right.
That was hard.
Gun toting, Bible quoting, Christian.
Yeah, gun toting, Bible quoting, patriot.
So would you spit it this back, or you just felt like it wasn't worth it?
Nah, I don't know. I mean,
you thought about it?
I'm definitely not going back at Tyson. Like, it's just not good enough. Like, it's not good enough, right? Like, you got to really, because you can't really say anything about me. Like, what are you going to say that I haven't already said about myself publicly, right? So with Bryson, I much rather like talk to him. I'm really concerned for him, like on some like, bro, your safety and your freedom is at stake, you know, like more so that, like, I don't really want to make enemies with that dude because I think they're like some of those guys on that end are like right on the verge of like doing something wild or saying something wild that could potentially get them in trouble with the FBI. He's already had the FBI called on him several times because it's dangerous. Yeah, the stuff. And he thought like I gave him a heads up because I got a friend who's in the FBI, and he hit me up privately and was like, listen, like I know you communicate with him a little bit through Instagram. Like you need to tell him to chill because they're watching his YouTube. Like they're watching, they're paying attention, and he's really entering some real dangerous stuff with the stuff he's saying. And so I relayed the message, and I was just like, hey man, just be careful, bro, because some stuff you're saying is kind of wild. And he kind of brushed it off and was like, oh, I'm not promoting, what is it called? Seceding. Like, you know, what am I promoting? No. You know, it's not treason. And I'm like, okay, man, well, I'm just a messenger in this situation. Because like, despite our differences, I don't want any man to go to jail and not be with his family or be caught up with some federal charges or whatever. And so he just kind of dismissed it. And then the next day he DM'd me and was like, did you snitch on me? Because the FBI got called to my house. Wow. And I was like, no, you dummy. I was trying to warn you. Wow. So I was like, bro, like, no, I'm trying to help you. Like, and then he was like, yeah, my neighbor's been calling the FBI on me. People on YouTube been calling the FBI on me. Facebook been calling. And I'm like, well, stop saying wild stuff. And I think, you know, Brandon Tatum is right in that, like, whoa, you guys are really saying some dicey stuff that can get you guys in trouble. And again, I don't want to see any man lose their freedom over politics. Like,
what have you heard? What have you heard that's like been kind of like borderline, where it's like, all right, we need to be careful with what he's saying?
I think when you start saying stuff like we need to go in and take back our country, we need when you're saying stuff like that, I think that's very dangerous, right? Because one, like, are you really on that energy? Like, are you gonna be storming the Capitol or doing these attacks? Because y'all all got guns, like big guns, right? They're all they got big guns, videos. Yeah. So y'all got guns and you're talking like this. And then also, like, what point does it get misconstrued and it's not entertainment anymore? You're not just trying to be like a personality. People are going to take what you say literally and pull up and go storm their local capital or go, you know, grab some snowflake liberals or go to a protest and something escalates. I think that's the part where I'm just like legitimately like concerned, because there is a degree of like treason. Like there is a degree of like, you've now escalated this to like being a traitor towards your country because of making statements about, I don't know the legality. I'm not a legal expert, but it's there. I don't know where that line is.
It could be viewed that way.
It could definitely be viewed that way.